WCCO Television presents the 1997 Auto Show Preview, sponsored by your local Lincoln Mercury dealer, who invites you to come in and see the full line of Lincolns and Mercurys today. By Northland Ford. 5 of the top 10 selling vehicles in America are Fords. By your Twin Cities Toyota dealers. Toyota, I love what you do for me. By GMC. See your GMC dealer today. And by the Greater Metropolitan Auto Dealers Association. Proud to bring you Auto Show 97.
Hi, I'm Jim King, and welcome to WCCO TV's 1997 Auto Show Preview. This is the 24th annual Auto Show here at the Convention Center in Minneapolis. More than 800 vehicles on display, all courtesy of the Greater Metropolitan Automobile Dealers Association of Minnesota. Now, whether you're in the market for a new car or you just want to browse around and look at these great cars, this is the place for you. And coming up in the next half hour, we'll take in all the sights and sounds of Auto Show 97 and give you a preview of what people are looking for at this year's show. And if your car is taking a beating because of the bad winter weather, be sure to stay tuned. We'll take you on a car buying mission that's very possible if you follow our key guidelines. As usual, WCCO TV's automotive reporter Gordon Leach will test drive some of the newest 97 vehicles, including this year's official Auto Show vehicle, the Mercury Mountaineer. And don't forget those prototypes. We'll get a glimpse of the vehicles for the future. This year's Auto Show will attract more than 300,000 people during its week-long stay here at the Convention Center. And no matter your age, it seems that people just love to look at cars.
Enjoy the show.
These are the sights and sounds of Auto Show 97. From sports cars to sport utilities, there's something here for everyone.
My main purpose of coming today is to see the new Corvette. I'm in the process of looking at buying a new car this year, so I think this is going to help me a lot.
Kids enjoy it more than I do, I think.
I love it.
Car enthusiasts, curious kids, and serious shoppers attended opening day by the thousands. But then everyone has their own reason for coming to the show.
It's spring. And when it's spring, you have to do things like this. Gets us out of the house.
I'm a car guy. I like all the cars and trucks. I like to come see them all and check them out and see what the new ones are, all in one place. I don't have to go dealer to dealer.
It's the right size that fits our family.
For some, the Auto Show is the place to find that perfect vehicle. For others, it's a chance to test out their dream car. And for more than a few, it's a good dose of plain old sticker shock.
It's a fantastic car, a little overpriced.
They've either come down in price over the years, this particular model, or the others are going up. This seems like a great value.
He wants to buy it. That's scary.
Take it home.
As I recall, back 40 years ago, you could buy a new Ford for $2,000. And now it's increased considerably since then.
Inside. Instrumentation is complete, circular, analog, and backlit.
While some things at the Auto Show stay the same,
this year gets even better.
There are new additions every year.
Elegance.
Without arrogance.
Excellence.
Without excess.
Class.
Without mass.
From dealer promotions to unique exhibits, this show is the place to experience what's new.
This will be the 8th year that I've been here, and I see more manufacturers that have gone all out with their displays. They've got their new product here, their latest product here, and with that in mind, hopefully it'll bring more customers into the dealerships as well.
So whether you're in the market for a new vehicle or just want to browse, Auto Show 97 is your ticket to compare, see the latest, and see it all. As you can tell, there's lots to see and do here at the Auto Show, and joining me now is Bill Abraham, who's the Executive Director of the Auto Dealers Association. Bill, thanks for joining us.
Nice to be with you.
24 years you've been doing this. How has it changed over the 24 years?
Oh, we had smaller buildings. We were in the old Minneapolis Auditorium, which was about 1/3 this size. Then we spent a couple years in the Metrodome as this building was being built, and finally we're in this beautiful facility we have now.
What's the biggest trend? I know last year, sport utility vehicles. Same this year?
They're still hot. Trucks in Minnesota, sports utility vehicles, and autos too are very good sellers.
This year, the Auto Show is 2 weeks earlier than it has been in the past. That's got to be good for everybody. I'm sure people are ready for this winter to be over and hoping for springtime soon.
Well, we like it because it kicks off our spring selling season a little bit early, a couple weeks early, and gets everything going a little early, so it's good.
You mentioned selling. A lot of people come here to browse, but can they purchase a car as well when they come here to the show?
Yes, they can. Normally, however, there's a trade-in involved, so they'll see a car that they like here and then go to their own dealership that they like to do business with and bring their trade-in and negotiate at that point. But if you didn't have a trade-in, you could buy a car right here.
24th annual. It's going to be a great show, I'm sure.
It'll be great.
Thanks, Bill, very much, and we'll be right back with more of Auto Show Preview 1997.
Coming up, we'll take you on a car buying mission that's very possible. Find out if you choose to accept some key guidelines to buying a new automobile.
Welcome back to WCCO TV's Auto Show Preview. And obviously a lot of people who come here to the convention center are in the market to buy a car. But sometimes that mission may seem like mission impossible, overwhelming, so many things to think about. But hopefully this next story will help you with your car buying mission and make it maybe even enjoyable. It's been a long, hard winter, and your car has taken a beating. Thinking back, it seems like you've been driving your automobile since the early 1900s. Well, maybe not that far back. It's no longer a question of wanting a new car, but needing one. So where do you turn? There are so many choices, prices, features. The mission seems impossible. But is it really? Your job, should you accept it, is to follow these 5 key steps to buying a new car. Number 1, narrow your choice down to the particular class of car.
You start out with what they use the vehicle for, what they're looking for in a vehicle. Is economy important? Is four-wheel drive important? Seating setups inside the vehicle.
Once you've decided what category of car fits your style, it's time for step number 2. Determine what features are really important to you.
Safety is my number 1 choice in a vehicle when I look for a vehicle, along with the, of course, the economics of it, looking for a vehicle that we can afford.
Definitely the safety for the kids.
Safety is probably the hottest issue today when choosing a new car. Dual airbags are now included in most vehicles, and some trucks even have a special key switch to turn off the front passenger side airbag. There are also new integrated seatbelt systems, and it's always a good idea to find out how well the car you buy holds up in a crash test.
This vehicle has standard universal garage door openers built right into the vehicle, eliminating the ones that you put on your visor.
People today are also going more for the gadgets. There are built-in phones, CDs, first aid kits, cup holders, dust busters, power sofas. All the comforts of a home can now be found in a vehicle.
And now you can have your own individual entertainment centers. Instead of having the television in the center, that you can have a television at each individual seating area, and one could be watching their own movie, another one could be playing a video game on theirs, and all this while listening through the headphones so it isn't bothering the other occupants in the vehicle.
Now we get to step number 3. Find 3 to 4 cars that meet the needs outlined above, and most importantly, your budget.
Once they've narrowed it down to a model where they've been able to find the vehicles that have the features that they'd like to have, the seating capacity, and it's going to suit their needs, basically, I think from there the budget consideration comes into play.
You know, the average automobile in America today is about $20,000, and admittedly, that is not a comfortable range for everybody. Admittedly, half of them are higher, half of them are less. But they don't just come in and say, I'll take this one. This is something that they want to make sure it's the right decision.
Making sure you take a good, long test drive is step number 4.
If you do a lot of highway driving, you should take the car out on the highway and drive it on the highway. You want to get a feel for the passing gear and how the car handles under those conditions.
Step number 5 in buying a car is negotiating the price. Building a good, trusting relationship with your salesperson is one of the most important things you can do. And don't forget to do your homework so that you can ask the right questions and get the best buy for your money.
The sophistication of today's buyer is they have an awful lot of information available to them. Right now it's available through the internet system. In addition, of course, to that, they have all kinds of library, all kinds of consumer report. There's sharp buyers that are out in the marketplace today.
Here's your new car.
Joining me now to talk more about the car buying experience is Debbie Moe of Wally McCarthy's in Roseville. And Debbie's been in the business for 28 years.
That's right.
You started when you were 10.
Around 10.
Something like that.
Something like that.
More women getting involved in buying cars at this point. What's the research show?
Research indicates that by the year 2000, 60% of auto sales will be to women.
60%?
60%, it's a big number.
How about people involved in the automotive business? Can they also ask questions about that here at this show?
Here at the auto show, there is an exhibit that addresses the opportunities that are in the auto business for women, something everybody should visit. It's a big change in the auto industry, women working in sales and service parts. Aside from the clerical duties that used to be traditional, they're reaching all levels of professional involvement.
If they want to purchase a car, what advice can you give women when they're coming here to the show?
Well, first I'd recommend that they deal with a reputable franchised auto dealer. Second, a lot of research. Get all the information. This isn't about just style and color anymore. There's safety issues, there's luxury economy, what suits your lifestyle the best. Financing, leasing is pretty big right now, so we want to look at leasing options.
800 vehicles at this show so they can look at different cars. How does that help people in the buying experience other than being able to see what's out there?
Well, each of the exhibits will have lots of brochures and information that they can take home and study at their own leisure. Plus, they have representatives here on staff to answer all their questions while they're actually looking at the cars. It really helps. Plus, have fun. This is an exciting show.
All right, Debbie, thanks very much. And we'll be right back with more of Auto Show 97 from the Convention Center.
Ever wanted to test drive some of the hottest new vehicles on the market today? When we return, WCCO TV's automotive reporter Gordon Leach will do just that.
Welcome back to the Minneapolis Convention Center and Auto Show 97. And as we mentioned a little bit earlier in the show, one of the most important things to do when you're buying a vehicle is to take that test drive. And WCCO TV's automotive reporter Gordon Leach each year gets to test drive the latest models. So without any further ado, here's Gordy's Test Drive 97.
The featured vehicle of Car Show 97 is the new Mercury Mountaineer, an all-wheel drive sport utility vehicle with rugged good looks. But you don't have to be a mountain climber to get in thanks to these standard running boards. There are also height-adjustable shoulder belts and inside grab handles for passengers. This overhead display keeps track of the weather, and there's even a built-in tissue dispenser right in the center console. More than half of Mountaineer buyers are expected to be women.
But whether you're a man or a woman, you'll appreciate all the luxury the Mountaineer offers. Like other Lincolns and Mercurys, it has a V8 engine, power, everything, even a rearview mirror that dims automatically at night.
Other thoughtful touches include power lumbar support and split rear seats that fold flat and lock into place. With digital entry and a JBL stereo, the Mountaineer is a sport utility that will always reflect your good taste. If you like sport utilities but have longed for a larger vehicle, the new Ford Expedition may be just right for you. It's got plenty of room in the back for cargo and these anchor points to tie it all down. The Expedition says you can take it with you. The rear window opens independently for small packages.
And although the Expedition is one of the largest sport utility vehicles on the market, it really doesn't seem that way when you're behind the wheel. The visibility is good in all directions, the steering is quick, and the ride is really quiet.
The inside story continues with plenty of room for people. Seating for 9 is an option. Rear seat passengers get their own stereo and climate controls. Under the hood, a choice of new overhead cam engines, 4.6 or this 5.4 liter. Got a big boat? An Expedition can be equipped to tow 8,000 pounds. If a long trip is what you long for, hit the road in a GMC Savannah conversion van. Keeping passengers happy is what this Savannah is all about. With features like a large TV with videotape player, separate stereo systems for front and rear passengers, a 12-disc CD changer, even an onboard Nintendo system. There are large windows to see the scenery and blinds to close for privacy. The seats recline for cat naps, and who wouldn't be comfortable with rich leather upholstery?
Now, obviously, there's a lot of room in the Savannah for people and their stuff, and it's got a 5.7-liter V8, plenty of power. But with the overdrive transmission and fuel injection, it's still EPA rated at 18 miles per gallon on the highway.
While trucks and vans are popular, there's plenty going on in the world of cars. The Toyota Camry is all new for 1997. It looks more like a small luxury sedan than a popular family car.
Drivers will appreciate many of the features of the new Camry. The engine is quieter and more powerful. Anti-lock brakes are now standard. And Toyota gave the Camry one more feature most new cars don't have, a sticker price that's actually less than last year's model.
This new Camry has 5-lug aluminum wheels and a very aerodynamic shape. The trunk is roomy and the rear seat backs fold down to increase cargo capacity. The trunk lid is insulated to reduce road noise and has a remote release, like the gas tank filler door, which is on the driver's side of the vehicle. The stereo takes cassettes as well as a 3-CD magazine. The instruments are large and legible, and the ignition switch is in the dash where it's easier to see. So whether the new vehicle you're looking for is car or truck, large or small, now is the time to test drive one for yourself.
You've just seen some of the hottest cars that are on the market today, and joining me now is John Gilbert with the Star Tribune, and he writes an auto column. John, thanks for joining us.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's always an exciting time of the year. It's like Christmas morning, you know, you're opening your toys,
right.
Opening the new toys here.
You've been in the business for 30 years, at least, following
Scary.
the auto. It's scary, isn't it? What's the biggest change that you've seen over those 30 years?
Well, I guess I would have to say the quality control. I mean, the refinement of the cars and the fine tolerances that they're made at now. And I think that's due. The German cars used to be great. The American cars had a reputation for being a little loose. And when the Japanese cars came in with their great new technology and close tolerances, the competition forced the U.S. companies to get better and better. And right now, it's hard to find a bad car.
And speaking of great cars, you're on the selection committee for the International Car of the Year. What is it, and how do you go about that process?
Well, that's been really exciting. I've been on it for 3 years, on the jury, they call it. There's 47 North American auto journalists that get a chance to test and vote on the International Car of the Year for each year. And this year, the Car of the Year was a Mercedes SLK, which is kind of interesting because it's a fairly expensive car, but it's an inexpensive sports car, and it's an inexpensive Mercedes, costing, you know, between 30 and 40 in that range. And it's kind of an indication of a new trend. People thought sports cars were dead in the industry, and then BMW came out with the Z3, and Jaguar came out with the XK8, and then Mercedes came out with the SLK. And then on top of that, Porsche has just released the Boxster, which is an all-new sports car. So that's, and here at the show, those cars will all be represented. And then also the brand new Corvette, which hasn't even been seen yet, was just introduced, and that's here at the show. And the Dodge Viper, which is a wonderful sports car.
So sports cars are hot, but obviously sport utility vehicles are hot as well. Are they coming down in price, though?
They're kind of going both directions, like the Ford Expedition and everyone's got one now. They're proliferating all over at $35,000 or so. But now Toyota has come out with the RAV4, which is around $20,000, and Honda has the CR-V. So now that's coming down to that level, too.
So the Best Buys on the low end, what do you suggest?
Well, the low end is getting a little exciting too. There's a new Escort is out this year, and the ZX2 is a two-door version of that, just out. The Dodge Neon, the Saturn, Civic, those are pretty solid standard vehicles.
Mid-range?
Mid-range, the Ford Contour has been a very good competitor for the Honda Accord, Toyota Camry, and all that, and the brand new 98 is coming out within a month, and there's one of those here at the auto show too.
So those who have a lot of money, what do you suggest?
Ooh, the sky's the limit. Going to the larger ones like the Ford Taurus and the larger sedans, but you can get into the middle 20s and get some really tremendous vehicles now, like the Audi A4. Again, Mercedes and BMW are coming down with their bottom cars, and they're still excellent quality. The Lexus Infiniti and the top-end full-size cars like the Pontiac Grand Prix and the other U.S. companies are keeping track. So if you want to spend 20 to 30, you can find a lot of cars, but you can still find good cars under 20, and that's kind of neat.
Thanks, John, and we'll be right back with more of WCCO TV's Auto Show Preview.
Coming up, it's the vehicles of the future. Stick around and get a glimpse of the newest prototypes at Auto Show 97.
Welcome back to WCCO TV's Auto Show Preview. And before we leave, we couldn't let you get out of here without looking at those prototypes, the vehicles of the future. Concept cars are something to stare at. Cars that may never be mass-produced, but showcase some wild ideas. The Ghia Alpe was built in Italy on a Ford chassis. It's a compact sports utility vehicle with all-wheel drive. These wrap-around mud flaps are for the highway, and they can be quickly removed for off-road driving. Pontiac thinks future driving excitement will look like the Salsa, a red-hot sports car with a removable roof. Built by the General Motors Design Studio in California at a cost of $2 million. The Salsa has a 150-mile-per-hour speedometer and a 24-hour security guard. The Mercury Latitude is based on the Sable wagon. It has a spare tire in the tailgate, and the tail lights are neon. The Latitude also has wide wheels, a V8 engine, and 3 sunroofs. That's my ride right there. I hope you enjoyed Auto Show Preview 97. Don't forget, here at the Convention Center, it continues through March 9th. There's also, for senior citizens, a special day on Wednesday, March 5th. If you need more information about parking or the hours, you can call the number on your screen, 335-6000. Again, thanks for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed Auto Show Preview 1997. I'm Jim King. Have a good evening.